Yo, good morning. Your boy is back again. Your boys is back again with another episode of Coffee and Sports in the Morning. Get your coffee, come get your sports in the morning, man, because we got a jam-packed show on this Friday morning, man. Y'all know as me, Coach Dante. I know y'all see me about no more than 7 hours ago. So of course, I'm back up on here. But not on that, I got my boy Mo Better with me, my co-host. Got my other co-host here with me, Jay Jones. Man, I should have sworn I just seen y'all 7 hours ago, man. How y'all guys doing this morning, man?
Man, how you doing, man? Like
Coach.
I'm awesome.
Coach, you the marathon man.
I'm awesome, man. Yeah, I'm ready, man. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty, fellas. So the NBA draft happened last night. We had some shocking, and we also had some players that you didn't expect to go in certain spots. We also did have some questionable moves as well. But first initial reaction on to yesterday's draft. Mo, I'm gonna start with you.
I enjoyed it. There were some guys that slid that we didn't expect it, but you get that sometimes in any kind of draft. It was unexpected, but I thought there were a lot of teams that filled some holes on their rosters. Like, it was a great night for Texas basketball teams.
Yeah,
they all did well last night. All of them did well.
Yep. Jay?
I thought going in, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a tad bit disappointed, but like Mo said, a lot of teams got better. A lot of teams filled holes, and I was only disappointed because right before the draft, we saw Chris Paul get traded. We seen Jordan Poole get traded, and me personally, I thought it would be a little bit more movement as far as like veteran players that would have been moved. But I don't even think. I think it may have been like one. I think it was Bertans. I think from the Mavericks that may have been moved. But outside of that, it was a really good draft. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, man. So overall, we had Wembanyama goes 1 to the goddamn San Antonio Spurs. We all expected that since the day of the lottery. That was really going to happen. 2 went with was Brandon Miller. Last week it was shifting towards. The shift was towards between was Brandon Miller all the way, but then this week you're starting to see a little Scoop Henderson scooping in now. But coming out, Adrian Wojnarowski broke the news before the draft that Brandon Miller was going to go 2nd overall. Are you intense with that pick? How did you like was that a fit in Charlotte, Jay, to you?
It's a fit. I mean, I don't think you go wrong with either or. However, I did think Scoop was gonna go 2nd to Charlotte. I thought Scoop would have been going there, but obviously they had private workouts between between Brandon Miller and Scoop. in front of MJ, and MJ had a pick in. He had a hand in his pick before he left his state, and he went with Brandon Miller. So Portland slid in, and they did what they were supposed to do. We all know kind of their draft history when it comes to the top, 3, 5 picks.
Yeah.
But they came up. They got a good player in Scoot Henderson, and I still think Brandon Miller's. I mean, he's a good athletic wing player, definitely a great shooter. So it's not like Charlotte missed on the pick completely. And he's paired with Lonzo Ball. And I think he just got his AAU teammate Nick Smith, who's joining him in Charlotte as well. So it still works out for both teams, but I thought Scoot would have kind of went second. But hey, it's a win-win for both.
Yep. Mo, any surprise about the pick, or did you suggest Scoot Henderson would have been a better pick?
I thought I liked Scoot better for Charlotte, but I think that in the end, Brandon's ability to shoot, his shooting was the deciding factor, right? Yeah. You're thinking about the NBA we play in, and he's probably envisioning what LaMelo would look like with that kind of shooter to his left or to his right. So I totally understand. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. Like Jay said, it's not a bad pick. I don't think either you couldn't go wrong in my opinion. But I thought between the two, he's more ready-made because he's a better shooter right now. But I think Scoot's got that dog in him. I think he's different.
Yeah.
That you could have put him with LaMelo, because let's not forget, LaMelo's 6'7". He's a legit 6'7", 6'8". He can, and he's got a natural scorer's mentality. Even though he can facilitate, he could easily slide over and play the two, and Scoot could run the point. So I actually like that better, because I favor guys that have the ability to create for others as well as themselves. No bad picks in those first three. No bad picks. I just would prefer the pairing of Scoot and LaMelo to Brandon Miller.
Yeah. All right. So we did have Scoot Henderson going to the Portland Trail Blazers, which was, question like that. Dame. Now, what does Dame do? That's the question. We already knew Dame was pressuring the organization, trade the pick, get some veterans around him. He probably wanted to go one more shot with Portland, see if he can win, see if he can make a playoff push. That didn't happen. They end up drafting Scoot Henderson, we will get to Damien Lillard, coming up. He is a topic. I believe he did talk to the Portland Trail Blazers. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Houston Rockets got Ahmad Thompson's with I expected that. I've been knowing that for 2 weeks. I just never reported it to nobody, but I've been knowing that was the pick all along for the whole time. Now Hassard Thompson, his brother, goes to the Detroit Pistons. The second time both twins go back to back since Marcus Morris and Markieff Morris. One of them, I believe Marcus Morris came to my Rockets right behind Marcus Morris was picked. So that's the second time that happened. Orlando went with Anthony Black at number 6. I think Orlando kind of got messed over. I didn't think they intended to pick Anthony Black, but just not. Cam Whitmore kind of messed up everybody's draft board a little bit. Everybody expected Cam Whitmore to go in these type of spots, but until we heard last night what happened, I think some teams kind of panicked a little bit. The board didn't fall a lot of teams' way. Did not fall a lot of teams' way. It was expected, but Jairus Kudavale goes to the Washington Wizards. He went to the Washington Wizards. Washington Wizards moved up to 7 to get Bilal Kudavale. Probably was the shocking news of the night for that trade. Jay said he wasn't satisfied with it. Now go ahead, Jay. I'm gonna let you get it off. I'm gonna let you get that off.
Bilal, I'm not saying he's not I'm not familiar with him like that, so I'm not gonna sit here and criticize his game like that. But from reports from what I've heard, is that he really wasn't really high on the boards for especially to be taken this early. Like he just got too early. He just got hot. Like he played with Wembanyama, right? So
Yep.
going into the draft, I would have thought I actually thought the Wizards should have took Taylor Hendricks, who went to Utah. I thought they should have went for a stretch four. They just got Tyus Jones in the trade. They got Jordan Poole. So you got a facilitator, you got a shooter right there. You just lost Porzingis, so why not go ahead and get a stretch four, in my opinion. So for them to come out, it was a lot of eyes on them, especially because what they've just been doing with the trade of Bill Porzingis and things like that. There was a lot of eyes on them and what they were going to do with this pick, and they keep reaching into that international pool, and I don't know. It's to be determined. It's to be seen. I just didn't agree with it. I thought they should have went with a stretch for it, and then they came back in the second round and got the gentleman from Serbia. I can't remember his name, but so it's to be decided. But I didn't like the pick. I thought they could have went somebody with somebody a little bit better and polished, I should say. I don't know what his game looks like, but I thought they could have went with somebody a little bit more notable, I should say.
Yeah. Like I feel like when Cam Whitmore didn't go in the top 5, when we heard about his last minute, he didn't test well and interview well. He didn't work out well. That's why I think it messed up a lot of people draft board, especially I think it messed over Orlando really, really bad. I didn't think they wanted to go with Anthony Black. I just think
that was weird.
I just think Cam Whitmore messed up everybody's draft boards. And I think Orlando did not benefit from that. But we'll talk about that on the next topic. On that one. But this dude right here, I believe me and Cool McCain, my boy Cool, we was doing a mock draft, and I remember marking Taylor Hendricks to the Jazz. Taylor Hendricks is that dude, bro. That dude can play defense, and that dude is a stretch, bro. Defensive guy in a stretch. Hey. The Jazz got a hell of a player, bro. 39% from the 3-point line. That dude is a massacre on defense, man. I really love this pick. And also,
I thought the Wizards should have got him.
And also, we had Jarris Walker going to number 8. Really like Jarris Walker he went number 8 to the Pacers because the Wizards and Pacers swapped picks. So, Jarris Walker, I had him mocked to the Pacers as well. Pacers looking pretty good, man, on paper in the bottom of the East. They looking pretty well. You had Cason Wallace going. You had Cason Wallace going to OKC. OKC. I'm gonna get to them in a minute. I'm gonna get to them pretty much in a minute. I have nothing to do with. I like the player of Cason Wallace, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna get to them in a second. But Jet Howard goes to number 11. Thought it was a little bit outside. Thought he was going to be in the late teens. Going to be in the late teens right there. But other than that, he's a very good shooter. He's a very good shooter for Jet Howard, Jawan Howard's son. If y'all don't know the guy, we have Derek Lively goes to Dallas. He goes to Dallas. Derek Lively goes to Dallas. They needed some rim protection. That was a hell of a pick for Dallas. They do need some rim protection right there. So that's a hell of a pick right there. We got your boy GD Grady. We got Grady Hot Suit D. He went to the Toronto Raptors to give them some shooting. We had Jordan Hawkins. Jordan Hawkins, a sniper from downtown, a sniper. Can shoot off the screens. That's why can shoot, pull up, anything. Give it to you how you want it. Shooter. He's just not a set shooter. He's an all-around explosive shooter. This dude can just shoot. This dude can shoot, bro. This dude legit. We have Kobe Buffkin going to the Atlanta. We had Kobe Buffkin going to Atlanta, combo guard. Keontae George going to Utah. Utah got two awesome players, bro. That's hell of a crazy. Go ahead, Jay. You gonna respond? Say something.
No, man. I thought Grady Dick would have went to Orlando. I kind of thought that, I mean, not to say that Jet Howard isn't good, but I thought Grady Dick would have went more Orlando. And Utah, they definitely made out really well in the draft this year. Like, low key, I think a lot of people don't realize they draft was really good, in my opinion.
Yeah. So you got Lakers drafted Jalen Hood Safino. That's a badass dude, bro. That dude nice from Indiana. Now this is a surprise to me. Miami drafted Jaime Jaquez. That was a surprise to me right there. That was a surprise to me. Didn't expect that at all. But who knows? Pat Riley, if there's one person you can trust to develop a talent, Pat Riley definitely could do that. Definitely get the best out of someone. And you had Brandon Pawinski goes to the Golden State Warriors. He had a great combine. As well. I strictly watched him at the combine. He had an awesome combine. That was a part of his jump being in the first round. And also, but if you told me in the morning I could woke up with two top 10 prospects, which was number 20 Cam Whitmore, I will slap myself in the face. If I woke up with Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, I would have actually slapped myself in the face if I woke up with both of those guys on the Houston Rockets. That was a legit steal. Legit robbery, legit steal right there. I think we was gonna trade the pick, considering it was rumors we were trading that pick. But when Cam Whitmore kept falling and sliding, a great job by Raphael Stone. Noticing the board he was gonna come down to you. And once Golden State picked up the guard, we already knew who was the pick gonna be. We sensed it who the pick was gonna be, and great job by Raphael Stone. And we didn't even have to trade to go get him. We didn't have to trade to go get him.
Right. That's what's crazy.
I was crazy. We didn't have to
low risk, super high reward.
Yeah, definitely.
Noah Clowney goes 22. Dariq Whitehead Noah Clowney goes 21. Dariq Whitehead goes 22. You have Chris Murray goes a pick before Sacramento.
I thought he was gonna get there, man. I thought he was gonna get there.
Yeah, he went a pick before Sacramento.
Same division and everything with his brother.
Olivier Omas Prosper goes to 24. I'm gonna get to the Sacramento in a second. We have Marcus Sasser to Detroit. He actually went to Detroit in a deal. The guard out of Houston. You got Ben Shepherd. You got Nick Smith goes 27. You have Bryce Sensabaugh. We have Julian Schraubert. And we have Kobe Brown. That's the first rounders right there. So, fellas, I want the next topic: winners and losers. Jay, give me your winners and losers in the draft.
We mentioned Taylor Hendricks. All right, I'm gonna go. I got your Rockets. I got them as winners. I got Indiana. I got them as winners. I got Dallas as winners. I think Dallas was a winner as well. And I like Utah. I like Utah's. I like Taylor Hendricks. I like Keontae George, and I like I think they got Bryce Sensabaugh as well.
Yeah.
I think those were solidified like great picks on a low key. I wanted to put Detroit in there, but they got a lot of guards right now. They got Thompson, they got Sasser, and now they got Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham. So I like both players. I like Thompson and Sasser. I like both of them. I'm just interested to see how it's all gonna fit in perspective of like how it's gonna shape out on the roster wise. Losers, I think, is a team that we didn't see draft, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I was moving around. The Chicago Bulls, they didn't get anybody, and they were just, there was a lot of rumors that they might be moving Levine. We just found out Lonzo might not be out, but I thought they would have made a play to kind of get back into the draft and try to make some moves, but they didn't, and they didn't come out of this with anything. They got pretty much the same roster they had coming in. So those are my winners right there, my losers.
All right, go ahead, Des.
Morning, everybody. It's Friday. But I agree with you, Jay. The losers on that one. I'm going to start with the losers first. The Chicago Bulls. If I was a GM, I would have picked a guard, a savvy guard, because you just got a forward that's 6'7", and he has the potential, but it doesn't help you with the point guard position. There's rumblings in Chicago that Zach LaVine's not even getting along with DeRozan or the front office. So that's my loser. The winner, I got to put Houston. They're a winner. Coach, you did well yesterday. The only reason why I think Whitmore slid because there was things coming out that his practice habits were kind of bad. And that thumb injury that he suffered in college, that's why he probably slid a little bit. The Hornets, they won with the Amari Bailey pick, I believe, but you had a chance to get Scoot Henderson. You went with Brandon Miller. But we'll see how that goes in fruition. The other team, the Indiana Pacers, they did well last night. I think they did good on the draft. The Thunder, they did good on the draft as well, and the Mavericks. So those are my winners. And one more, the Trailblazers. You just set yourself up for the future. You got a good pick, a heck of a pick. Now the only question is, can the Blazers build around Dame Dollar and the future as well? And that's what Damian Lillard's contending for. He's
he gone, Des. He gone.
Who? Damian Lillard? Hey, well, no.
If he's trying to win a title and he's serious about that, I get loyalty.
Yeah,
he gone.
I'm saying if I'm him, I would be gone too. What he's saying is, and he said it yesterday, he wasn't in this draft process. He's saying that I'm giving the team time to develop now until free agency. So from the draft to free agency, but yeah, Brandon Miller, that was a good pick up there too for the Hornets.
All right, Mo.
So I agree about the Bulls, but I think another loser to me, and this goes back to what Jay started the show with, I was surprised that there wasn't more player movement to maybe orchestrate picks or to alleviate salary. I thought the Suns were losers because I thought this draft was an opportunity. If you weren't going to move Ayton for a player, I thought you would have moved him for picks because you could have built out that bench in that roster. There are some stars at the top of this draft, but this draft right here, this class, there are a lot of guys that can play right now, that can step in and be effective rotation players right now. And I thought the Suns were losers because they weren't more active. They weren't active at all in this draft. My winners, Pistons. I love what the Pistons did. I love what the Mavs did. The Rockets. Jay's 100% right about the Jazz. People aren't going crazy over them now. They will later once the season starts and they see what they did with those picks. I love what the Pacers did. Like I really thought this was one of those drafts that a lot of the younger teams, their front offices, they put in that work. I mean, I was really impressed with those teams.
So I'm gonna start with the actually losers first, but I got an individual player that I think is a loser. He's a winner. He's a winner. No, he's a winner. He's a winner on the team that he's playing for, and I'm gonna talk about Cam Whitmore. I think
money
because you know why he just because he damn near lost out on $30 million.
He lost
out on $30 million.
That's why he's a loser.
Actually lost out on $30 million.
Make you a loser.
Now he's making a veteran minimum $2.4 million. He from the first 24 hours, the 48 hours, the man went from a top 5 pick to now losing $30 million. Now he's gonna be making 11 mil over the first.
He's gonna be so motivated, though.
Yes, but he's gonna be motivated. He's gonna be definitely be motivated. But the Rockets, that's a hell of a pick. That's a hell of a pick. And I think, like I said, and I think it messed up a lot of people actually draft boards, and which is I'm gonna go to Orlando, who's a loser in this situation because I don't think they go into the draft intended to pick Anthony Black. Nothing wrong with the player, but the draft boards was kind of messed up when he didn't come out when he dropped a little bit, and it kind of messed up the game plan of Orlando. I didn't think they intended to pick Anthony Black. I thought Osar Thompson would have been one of the pick if Cam Whitmore was picked by the Detroit Pistons. Getting Jet Howard, I think Jordan Hawkins and Grady Dick were better players. That's why I think they're more losers. And plus, Orlando, Cole Anthony, and Jalen Suggs, one of them is gone. You got another point guard. One of those guys is pretty much.
Don't forget about Fultz.
Are both of them gone though? Because the way they like you said, they got Black and Jets. So I knew when they got Black, one of them was gone. But I was like, damn. I mean, I know they needed a shooter, but it's guard heavy over there too.
Then Sacramento Kings, they panicked because again they got out of Rashad Holmes' contract, which is good, but they had to give up a first round pick. They had to give up a first round pick to do it. and which means they already had a player in mind, and we know who that player was. Keegan Murray brother, and he was selected one spot ahead. They panicked and they picked Omax Prosper. I think they panicked and they picked Omax Prosper, but they actually wanted Chris Murray. Chris Murray was Portland selected, which Portland took. That would have been that is crazy right there. And I'm gonna say OKC. I'm gonna say OKC. Now, nothing wrong with Kaysen. Nothing wrong with Kaysen Wallace, but you took on a bad contract to go up 2 spots, which is Kaysen Wallace would have been there. He would have still been there. He would have still been there at the spot if they did stay. So I think those are my losers. Now I'm out. The winners. I love Utah. I love what Utah did. Taylor Hendricks, Keontae George. Those guys are gonna. Those guys have some potential. They're gonna play. I think they're gonna potentially play right away. Step in and play right away. Watch Taylor Hendricks, man. Taylor Hendricks is gonna be something special for them dudes. Him and Walker Kessler in that paint, and that is really some crazy rim protection right there. So good job by Danny Ainge, and that's the first robbery of Rudy Gobert, of that Rudy Gobert trade. Him and Keontae George, that's the first robbery.
First of many.
First of many robberies right there. So and plus, you can't go without the Rockets, man. That was kind of like a damn Texan draft right there. Like going up and get Will Anderson, now Cam Whitmore falling to you. You didn't have to go up and go get him. You didn't have to trade anything, go get him. He just fell in your lap right there. That was nice right there. I liked it what Dallas did. They got rim protection. They was able to get up out of the bad contract and Dallas Bertram, and they got Derek Lively as well. So I actually liked what Dallas did. I was very impressed with Dallas.
Yeah, they had a good draft.
And Indiana had a hell of a draft too. They had a hell of a draft. They had a hell of a draft as well. So give me a favorite, your least favorite pick. Everybody least favorite pick of the draft. Mo, I'm gonna start with you. Your least favorite pick. If you had to guess.
I wasn't crazy about Bilal Coulibaly going as high as he did to the Wizards. I wasn't crazy about that. So that's it's my least favorite pick, not because I don't think he's going to be a good player, but I think he's one of those kind of players that he's G League bound. Like I think he's a project coach. I think it's going to be a minute, and before they see any dividends. And I just think that if you're rebuilding, especially the way they're trying to rebuild, you want immediate impact, and I just don't think he's going to provide that. So now, I'm not saying it's a bad pick.
Yeah,
it's one of those picks that won't help them till down the road. So I didn't like that pick. They could have had Hendricks, who would have impacted them immediately. They could have had Hendricks, and he would have impacted them immediately. So I just didn't like that pick for that reason.
Go ahead, Des.
I didn't like my Nuggets pick. I did not like the guy from Clemson. I forgot the name, the shooter. We got too many dang shooters. They're already talking about he might be a 2-way contract. It's between him and the guy from Penn State that they drafted, which I like as well, but he's 23, coach, the guy from Penn State?
Yeah.
And there's some question marks there. I mean, I seen some of his highlights last night after the draft and this morning before the show, and you just see they all progress throughout their careers, freshman, senior, and sophomore, but we have so many dang shooters that they're, like I said, it's just so many shooters that I think that's going to be, like Mo said, it's going to be times where the dividends will come later on, but you see how Denver's roster is constructed. I just feel like we don't need a shooter. We need a little bit more bigs, especially with the 4 and the 5, another backup center for Jokic, but we'll see what the future holds.
Jay?
I gotta go with Mo, man. Y'all know how I felt, man. Again, man, like Coach, like Mo said, man, I'm gonna compare this pick to when the Knicks drafted Frank Ntilikina. He had a lot of upsides, right? He came from France, so I believe, and he was raw talent, but he never really became that. Now, I'm not bashing Ntilikina because he's a pretty decent role player with Dallas last I checked, but for that to be your first pick again after you just moved like your top 2 players on your team, I just think, like I said, it was just a puzzling move. I thought, like I said earlier, I thought they could have got Taylor Hendricks. I would have preferred him to be to go there to be with Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole, but they chose to go otherwise. But they got the big man from Serbia. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think Bilal was my most puzzling move.
Well, my head scratching move, I had like I say, Jaime Jaquez from UCLA. But I know Miami Heat, the culture, they know how to develop people, but just wasn't. I thought to be honest, I thought Leonard Miller was the better prospect than him. He fell to the second round. He fell to the second, all the way to the second round. But Jaime Jaquez, not too satisfied with the pick that Miami. I thought it was way better players on the board than Jaime Jaquez at that time. So Miami definitely missed out on some players on that. But other than that, we're gonna go to the favorite, the favorite player in the draft, the favorite pick in the draft. Jay, I'm gonna start it down with you.
I like Jordan Hawkins to New Orleans, man.
Oh my God, bro.
That was a nice pickup right there. Nice pickup, man.
Hey, I'm from the DMV area, man, and you know, watching Jordan Hawkins get that UConn championship, man. Watching him on display, go down to New Orleans with Ingram, CJ, Zion. It's gonna be fun to watch. Alvarez, I think he's gonna fit in real nice. He's not just a shooter. He's good with the ball in his hand. He's
an athlete,
nice wing player. I love the pick, man. I truly enjoyed the pick. I think that is gonna definitely help them. So I think that's a great pick. He's down there in New Orleans with his cousin. Get to go to them LSU games.
Oh yeah,
Angel as well.
Yep.
So I definitely love this pick. This is one of my favorite picks of the draft, man.
You might well say LSU can win the damn national championship next year.
Yeah, they're gonna run it back. They're gonna run it back.
LSU gonna run it back.
All right, go ahead, Dez.
Hey, Jay took mine. I was so happy for Hawkins, man. I know Laker fans, Mo, Freddie, were trying to get him, but in the mock drafts had him going to the Lakers. But that's a slam dunk right there. I got to put one more on Freddie, man. I had to put a drop mic on, but you know, that's a good pick right there. Pick and roll game with Zion. They got young players. Like you said, Jay, they got McCollum, they got Ingram, which I think will help groom him. And then you got what was the guard you said, Jay?
Alvarez.
Yeah. He's coming back from injury and he's scrappy. I like him. And the culture, you can see the Pelicans. You can see the Pelicans, I say, probably be a top 5 team in the West. That's my prediction because look what they got in return. And a national champion. Come on now.
Trey Murphy's getting ready to have a big week.
Trey Murphy. I couldn't think of his name. Yep. I like him too.
Go ahead, Mo.
It's not my favorite pick. I guess I'm happy for you, Coach. You got Cam Whitmore. It's not my favorite pick. And everybody thinks that I'm disappointed in the Lakers pick. I'm not disappointed. I think it's a solid pick. He's one of those kind of players. He's gonna be a good pro. But I think a guy like Whitmore is beyond a good pro. He is a special talent. And I just think, I don't know what his attitude problem is. I don't care about his workouts. You don't pass up on special talents. You just don't. So I'm only disappointed in that sense.
because they had the opportunity.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
I can tell he said he my least favorite player because he went to the Rockets.
Coach, I'm
happy for you, Coach. I'm happy for you.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Amani Bates to Cleveland. I'm gonna go with.
I like that move too.
Yeah, that was a hell of a move, man. That could be a potential steal. The guy can score. The guy very long. The guy about 6'9". People got a hell of a team over there, man. They got a hell of a team. If they can just find a way to put everything together, that's a hell of a basketball. That's a hell of a basketball team over there. And Amani Bates do help bring them some scoring over there, some good decent size over there that can dribble well enough to play the 3 position as well. So other than that, it was a nice draft. Once when it got to the teams, I'm like the Lakers got options. And when I'm seeing Cam Whitmore going down the board, I'm like, anybody can pick him. Then once Jordan Hawkins started going off the board, Mo mentioned Jordan Hawkins in the chat. the moment, then New Orleans gets them.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Grady Dick is going to be right there. Then Toronto just ends up picking them. So all of a sudden, everybody started going off the board. The only one that was on the board was Cam Whitmore. Now, like any one of these teams, the Lakers, they can take them. But if he gets past the Lakers, I feel good about it. You had that sense if he makes it to the Rockets, because the Rockets was going to trade the pick. But then again, once Cam Whitmore slipped right there, I knew who the pick was going to be at that time. I knew who was going to be the pick. But Rockets got up out of that with two top 10 guys, two actually top 10 guys. They got
y'all gonna be nice, man.
I think the Rockets won the draft overall. Honestly, I do.
Yep.
Yeah,
you guys in Utah.
Yeah, I think Utah, Houston, and Indiana.
Yep, I agree.
I think those three definitely won it.
So we got another interesting one right here. So okay, I'm gonna start with you on this one, Mo. Who was the best dresser last night? Who was the best dresser?
Anybody that wasn't Grady Dick. Anybody that wasn't Grady Dick was the best dresser.
That was gonna be my pick, Mo.
He looked like he was trying to audition to be in the 7 Deadly Sins anime. I mean, he like if they held like a superhero draft, he would be like Mr. Irrelevant. He was really yo, man. You know what though, and keeping it 100, you gotta have confidence through the roof to rock that. So salute to him for having that kind of confidence, because you're a man's man when you can wear something like that with that kind of confidence.
Hey, I'm not so. I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto called him early, because that red right there matched them Toronto down.
He said he trying to get Drake to wear his jersey. So
Des, who you got? Who was the best dresser last night?
Hey, Mo took mine. God dang it, Mo. He took mine. I think Grady Dick. That was some fashion right there. But your boy from that you guys drafted from Indiana, I like that green jacket that he had on yesterday. That was nice. That was slick. That was really nice.
It was.
And then with the chain with it, he wasn't really flashy. I just like the green because it just popped. But
if
I had to pick one, Grady Dick. Hey, that boy just rocked. I was like, dang, boy, this is the draft night. Dang, you going all out, all red and everything. So I guess he liked his Raptors already.
Drake followed him on IG. Hey, that's the way you gotta get his attention. You gotta get Drake attention, man. You got to. Loud outfit and name drop him. Hey, he doing good right now in Toronto. He learning real quick on the fly.
Yep. So Jay, who was your best dresser last night?
Man, I'm not a fashionable guy, man. You know, I'm playing 2000s dresser, man. So I like Wemby's outfit. Wemby was nice and clean. He was nice, clean. It was a couple of guys. I like the Thompson brothers outfit. They was nice. They was clean. I'm hating because I can't pull a lot of these outfits off, but they were real fitted tight. You know what I'm saying, real. But it was another guy. He had the NFT on his jacket. I can't remember his name. I think he went to Dallas. I can't remember his name.
Derek Lively. Was it Lively?
No, it wasn't Lively. I think he went to OKC. He got traded. He was in the trade. I can't remember, but
was it Cason Wallace?
It might have been Wallace. Yeah, it might have been Wallace with the NFT.
He was clean.
And because he said he grew up in Dallas. That's what the NFT meant. So I think he got traded to
Oklahoma City.
But he was dressed nice. A majority of all the guys was dressed pretty nice, man. Like I said, I can't pull it off, but it looked pretty fly. Grady Dick, I think his stood out the most, obviously, but they were all dressed pretty well.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Keontae George, that was pretty good. But Scoop Henderson had the Scoop Henderson had the rain boots on too, man. It looked like he had the rain boots on up on those pants, man. But hey, him and Keontae George looked at all right. Grady Dick had the Toronto colors on, man. He was ready. He had the Toronto colors on. So all right, so now we get to the nitty-gritty right here. We get to the good stuff right here. How does Chris Paul fit with the Golden State Warriors? Jay, I'm gonna start with you. How does it fit with Golden State?
I don't know. It's interesting to see how this is going to play out. He can't play. I don't see Chris Paul as a off the ball kind of guy. So you got to move Steph probably to the 2, Clay to the 3. I'm assuming we don't know what's going to happen with Wiggins. I mean with Draymond. I don't know how this is going to go. Maybe you're going to go small ball, which Steve Kerr is known to play. That's the only way I can kind of see it, unless you bring Wiggins or Clay off the bench. But I don't know how this fits. Because we all know Steph can play off the ball, but I think Steph is better with the ball in his hand because he's an underrated passer. He can get to the lane, he can create and things like that. But Chris Paul, he's not known as a shooter. It kind of reminds me when he went to Houston. He really wasn't a shooter, but I feel like when he went to Houston, he was looked at for more of getting James Harden and others in their spot, Eric Gordon. So I'm not sure. I don't know if they're gonna have him to come off the bench as a second unit. Like I don't know. That was a real interesting move by Golden State. So I'm trying to see how this is gonna work. Even when they had D'Angelo Russell, it was a little bit more of a like D'Angelo could shoot a little bit better, but I don't know how this is gonna work. That was a very interesting move to me by Golden State. So I'm interested to see how this is gonna work.
Des, your thoughts?
You're good. I agree with Jay on this a little bit because I'm like, when I seen the trade, I mean, we all seen. I'm like, you go from younger to older. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And we know how Golden State runs their sets, right? Triangle offense, pick and pop. And we all know Chris Paul's up in age too. He can't be running up and down the court like the Nuggets and the Warriors, how they do. They run and gun, get to their spots, and get open. I think he'll be more like what you said, Jay, in Houston, where he's not the scorer who can shoot. He'll be more the facilitator. But the thing is, and the problem that we're having is Steph is good with the ball in his hands. So if you take the ball out of his hands and make him just straight up like a shooter, how's that going to work out? And then the lineup, how's that going to work out? Is Clay or Wiggins going to be off the bench? And then you got to think about Draymond Green. Is he going to come back? That's an if too. So I think the only reason why this might fit, a change in pace, probably help that second unit. This is probably when you have Clay, Steph, and probably most of their starting 5 on the bench, and you have role players coming up in there in the second unit. But I just don't know how this is going to fit unless they have Chris Paul doing what he did in Houston, which he was more of a facilitator. Steph has to take a step back and adjust to not having the ball in his hands. That's probably what they're going to have to do.
Mo?
So if he starts, Wiggins or Clay is coming off the bench if he starts. To me, thinking the way Steve Kerr would think, I don't think he starts. I think he's the leader of the second unit. I think that late in games, he'll be part of their closing lineup, but I don't think he starts. Remember, Chris Paul is a great mid-range shooter, and he's still, even at 38, one of the best point guards at manipulating mismatches. How many times have you seen him run pick and roll and manipulate that mismatch where he ends up with a big on him? If you can manipulate mismatches while Steph Curry is running off pin downs and moving off the ball, because I think Steph is deadlier off the ball than he is with the ball in his hands. Yep. So I actually think it works well if Chris Paul is going to be the leader of that second unit. Because to me, to put Wiggins on the bench or Clay on the bench, I'm not sure that balances the floor as well as it does with Chris Paul coming off the bench.
I think you can move Clay to the bench. I think you can have Clay come off as the sixth man, and you could probably get like what you're talking about with Chris Paul facilitating and having Steph come off the ball. I think that works. And then Clay can do what Clay does. He can get all his shots off and this, that, and the other. But let me see.
I think they want to keep his minutes down too, Coach. So I don't think Chris Paul is going to play 30 minutes a game. I don't think he's going to play.
I don't think he will. And I don't think he should play 30 minutes.
Right. I think this is all about the playoffs.
I think the starting lineup depends on what a lot happens to Draymond Green too. I believe it depends on a lot what happens to him. What if they do? They normally play small ball. But again, I can see him coming off the bench using that second unit. Steph Curry is good either with the ball in his hands or with the ball out of his hands. And you must not see Steph Curry is a very underrated moving without the basketball. That guy can move without the basketball, so he doesn't always sneak the ball in his hands. But for what the Golden State Warriors do, he has the ball in his hands 100% of the time, most of the time. So it'll be interesting. I do think Chris Paul in this late stage of his career, I think he could adjust coming off the bench. I think he could adjust coming off the bench, and I think he knows, hey, I gotta win. I'm doing this for the sake of winning a title, trying to win a title, because that window, that Golden State got open, that championship window is getting a little bit smaller and smaller and smaller. But they're gonna keep giving it another run. They're gonna give it another run. And Chris Paul also adds some stability in the locker room. He has some leadership in the locker room. He has another coach on the floor as well. If Draymond Green does come back, that's another guy that can settle things down a little bit. But I think it's a lot depending on what happens to Draymond. Draymond.
Look at the West. Look at the West. Take Denver out of it. Denver out of it. Golden State's got a good chance of anybody to get to the conference finals if you take Denver out of it.
I agree.
The West.
That was a great trade, Freddie. It was.
Oh yeah, you can't never, as long as Steph is on the team, you can't discount Golden State out of anything.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be a playoff team with Curry, Klay Thompson. They're gonna be good enough. Draymond, Craig.
Wiggins back for a whole season.
Back for a whole season. Go ahead.
The fact that they lost, I think a shooter. I mean, we kind of all predicted that Jordan Poole will probably be gone. But the fact that they lose young talent to get older, like Dez mentioned, I think was just kind of like, they're in it to win now.
They're in it to win now. I mean,
this is all about maxing out Steph's prime.
You said that. Yep, you said that yesterday. So,
like I say, man, I told y'all last night, man, y'all quit playing with Jordan Poole. The man said he gonna average 25 a night over that. Watch, he gonna drop.
He gonna walk around here like a star, like John.
He gonna definitely be aggressive. He gonna be aggressive. Like I said, he gonna be aggressive. He gonna definitely shoot some shots now.
We gotta keep him. We gotta keep him. It's gonna be hard keeping him out the club here.
Coach. Bill's gone. Porzingis is gone. Kuzma's gone. That's a lot of shots to get.
Yeah, but you ain't lying. Yeah, that's
Jordan Poole's good for launching about 20 plus shots a game this year.
Hey, I might get an encore interview with him because that arena gonna be empty. I might get
he gonna shoot him up. He gonna throw him up. He definitely gonna throw him up there now. He was throwing him up there at Golden State. He gonna throw him up there now. So go ahead. Yeah. The Bulls aren't expected ball to play. What should they do now? Like, what is the plan now? What you think the plan should be for the Bulls now? Mo, I'm gonna start with you this time.
They should blow it up. They're not contenders. They're in purgatory. I love DeMar DeRozan, but he's 33, 34 years old. And neither him or Levine can be the best player in a title contender. They're not title contenders. Blow it up. Move DeRozan, move Levine. If you re-sign Vucevic, you're still not a contender. And that's bad because, like you said, Coach, the back end of the East is really weak.
Yeah.
Really weak. I just think Chicago's in purgatory. They have guys that are just good enough to make you mediocre. You got to move off of that, blow it up, and go young.
I'm gonna tell you this to something I said. You got DeMar DeRozan, who's an over 20 point per game scorer, right? You got Zach LaVine, who's young, still young, athletic. He recovered from the ACL injury, still jumping out the gym. He's a star type player, so we know DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are stars. But Vucevic, 18 and 10, 11, consistent. This team, how the hell this team can only make a play-in tournament with the bottom of the East looking the way it looks? Now, I'm serious when I say something like this. It is a damn disappointment and a damn shame. This Chicago Bulls team with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic giving you a double-double a night. Andre Drummond coming off the bench, getting every rebound to be a damn play-in team.
And don't forget they got Caruso,
yes,
defender. I mean, so what is
it? They still are good. They still should be good. So that only leads me to one thing. Even without Lonzo Ball, we know Lonzo Ball is the quarterback of the offense. We definitely know that. You still got Patrick Williams, who hasn't panned out as a pick that they supposed to pan out. Kobe White, he's been in trade discussions for a while, but he's a prolific three-point shooter. But that leads to me one thing. I don't think it's the players. I think it's the coaching.
Fact.
It's sums on the players, but you are an inconsistent team, and you didn't even damn near make the playoffs last year. With DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine playing half of the year, you didn't have injuries that much. Yes, you had some in the middle of the season in Spurs, but they were healthy most part of the season. So Billy Donovan may be the common denominator in this point right here. His coaching may be the problem. He may be the lone problem. The players are good. Coaching Billy Donovan probably ain't as good as the coach. And I think, the coaching this year, Billy Donovan look like he's gonna coach another year in the middle of the
Warming
season.
up.
Yep.
It's like when you wintertime and you summertime and you accidentally leave that heated seat on you.
Yep. Telling you, they'll play into tournament if they something streaky in the regular season like that. Hey, Donovan Mitchell not Donovan Mitchell, but Billy Donovan can lose his job. Can definitely lose his job. That tells me right there that's coaching is a problem right there if that team is that bad. But Jay, give me your thoughts.
You just said it, man. You just mentioned coaching, so that's a huge issue. But I think they have the talent and they have the roster to be a lot better. All they are missing is a point guard. And to me, I thought they should have. If they didn't, they should have hollered at the Wizards for Chris Paul or a Tyus Jones or somebody like that. They just need somebody to get the ball out of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan for bringing the ball up. Just get them to their spots and somebody that's going to play defense and that can hit a shot when they're open. I thought CP3 would have fit pretty good over there in Chicago. Maybe, I don't know what their salary cap is looking like, but I mean, maybe you can get a Fred VanVleet or somebody like that, somebody that can shoot and can kind of, move the ball around, be another option for them. But they're only a point guard away. I know they brought Pat Beverly down there, or brought Pat Bev over there. That didn't necessarily work out, but they're not far away. I don't think you have to blow it up right this moment. But there have been a lot of talks about LaVine, the chemistry with him and the team, I guess. So they're a point guard away. That's all they need. I mean, if they could all they needed was like a Rondo or somebody like that. They just need somebody to get these guys in their spots so they can be, what they do. We've seen DeMar DeRozan. He, at points of time in the season, he dropped 40 and 50 a game. We've seen Zach LaVine go off a few times throughout the season when he was healthy. So they just need like that veteran leadership. And like I said, man, I thought Chris Paul would have definitely been a good fit there in Chicago. At least to get to the playoffs. Now, after that, it's something different.
I think they're good enough with a point guard. Look, like you said, Coach, there's no reason they should, at a minimum, not be a playoff team. They should be at least a playoff team. My only concern, if I was the owner of the team in front office, is you don't have a vision or a plan.
Yeah.
Your two best players, they're very similar in skill set. They're very similar.
Yeah.
One's 34, one's 27. And I wouldn't say either one of them have ever been leaders. They're just really good complementary players. If you put Zach LaVine on a title contender, he's your third best player. Same for DeMar DeRozan on title contenders. I just think that they're stalled because the ceiling for them, even with a point guard, is the playoffs. Not a run to the conference finals or anything else, but it's just the playoffs. That's not a plan.
I mean, again, this team is actually too good to be a playing tournament team. And with the bottom of the East looking the way it looks. But I think all of a sudden the Bulls are kind of stuck in the middle too. They don't know if they want to trade Zach LaVine. They don't know if they want to blow it up. They don't know what they want to do. I think they kind of stuck in the middle. But if they do trade Zach LaVine coming up, I think you blow it up. Then you blow it up. That gives you a sign, hey, you're not going anywhere anyway. You traded Zach LaVine. Hey, just unload. Just blow it up and go.
I think they do that depending on how their season goes before the trade line. I think obviously we know Lonzo's not coming back. If they start off bad, I think they're gonna blow it up before the trade deadline.
Yep. Des, go ahead, give me your thoughts.
I'm just disappointed in the dang Chicago Bulls. You had no first round pick. You traded your second round picks to move into the first round, and then you just picked up a forward. You had an opportunity to get a guard last night. They didn't seem like they had an objective either. Like during the offseason, you've seen a lot of teams like the Lakers, you've seen the Suns. They have an objective. They want to win now. And it seems like the Bulls, like we all said, they're kind of stuck in the middle. They're too good to be a play-in tournament team. They're too good. But you have two guys that have similar skill sets that just complement each other. And we got to put the coach on the hot seat, Billy Donovan. You got to put him on the damn hot seat. There is no reason you have that much talent and you fall short. We know Lonzo Ball has injury history. They blame the ball shoes as the reason why his foot is messed up. I knew it right when he had the first injury. Hey, let's get a point guard just in case. Let's get a backup plan. You see Denver, a backup plan when Jamal Murray went out. They did decent, and then when he got back, he's 100% healthy. Even the Lakers had a better point guard situation and what they had with Shooter and everybody else. So, like everybody said in this panel, they got to just have somebody that can handle the keys, run the offense, and that's their main priority during this free agency period. Get somebody out there in free agency, because if I'm Zach LaVine, I would be mad. There is no point guard. So you got to be your own point guard. I just feel like that's just not good. I would be unsatisfied as a Bulls player and fan. So they got to get a point guard. I don't think they should blow it up, but that's their main objective in free agency. Get a point guard.
But the problem is this is a difference. Miami don't even have a true point guard. Lakers don't have a true point guard. D'Angelo Russell ain't a point guard. But you know the difference? The coaching is the difference. That's the difference. That just tells you right there. The coaching is actually the difference. Miami don't got a true point guard, but the coaching. Revis Spoelstra is a common denominator of them going to the finals. But I think having a true point guard. Gabe Vincent is actually a shooter. Is actually more of a shooter than he is a point guard. So the Bulls, borderline, they got two stars on that team. Outside of Jimmy Butler and Bam is a very good player. I don't think he's a star or a superstar. He's a very good player. I think Jimmy Butler is a star type player. He's a star player. But the Bulls have two of those guys in a borderline all-star, in Vucevic.
Vucevic, yeah.
Vucevic, he's an all-star. He's an all-star player. He's an all-star player. But I think that denominator on now, that's coaching and culture.
Yeah, because we seen Billy Donovan in OKC with a pretty good squad, and he really couldn't do nothing with them.
He couldn't do nothing with them. The problem was talent. He had the talent. The talent was really good. The talent was really good in OKC. But going to the Bulls with some talent on the team, that's a problem. That's a problem right there.
Coach, you hit it around the head. Culture. That's the biggest thing. Culture. You even think the Lakers with Darvin Ham, he established a culture. And Billy Donovan, there hasn't really been a culture with Chicago.
Now, Revis Spoelstra don't got the best talent. He got 7 undrafted. That tells you right there. He's a hell of a fucking coach. 7 undrafted guys. That's a hell of a coach. Development going to get into the finals 2 out of 4 years. That's hell of a coaching. That's hell of a coaching right there. That's it. Hell of a now. OKC coaching is really good over there. They in the playing tournament. You wouldn't think they will be in the playing tournament. You wouldn't think they will be in the playing tournament already. That team is far overachieved last year, but that's the difference between having the talent and the coaching. I just don't think Billy Donovan is a very good head coach. I just don't think he's a very good.
I don't think so either.
That already showed you. Florida,
out of here.
Florida, he had the talent. He had the talent in Florida. So the problem is, what would you do if you don't have the best of talent? Can you get the best out? Can you get the best out of most of that out of the non-talented guy? I think that's separate. I think that matters a lot. And Revis Spoelstra can do it. Mark Dango over there in OKC definitely gets the best out of his players. So again, I think that's what separates between Billy Donovan and some of those guys. I think he's the problem. I think he's the common denominator of everything. So I'm gonna start with you on this one, Jay. Damien Lillard has spoken out on Portland. Does that give you a sign? Is Damian Lillard saga over in Portland? Are you still not sure? They did drop Scoop Henderson. Which is he's a guard, so that's possibly his replacement. That's possibly could be his replacement.
Yeah.
And Thomas at the guard position as well. Is this a sign right here? Is it finally the end of the saga right here? Do you think?
Yeah, this is a done deal. It's crazy. I've read conflicting reports. I've read that Scoot Henderson has been in contact with Dame, and Dame actually liked or seen Scoot work out and things like that, and he liked what he saw from Scoot Henderson, this, that, and the other. Then I think it was Chris Haynes last night. I think he said that Dame hadn't been in talks with anything in regards to Portland drafting players, this, that, and the other. Regardless, Portland needs to go ahead. Even if Dame doesn't want to get traded, trade Dame. Like the GM, they just the owner. Just unfortunately, I know Dame has been great. He's been loyal to you. But you gotta just you gotta make this happen, man. Just get this situation done and over with. Go ahead and trade Dame. Try to see where he would like to go. Try to work with Dame, like I said, to see where he wants to go and get the trade done, man. But your team, if you keep Dame, it's super guard heavy. You got Anthony Simons, you got Shaden Sharp, you got Scoop, Dame. So just get it done, make the trade happen, work with Dame, and let's move on from this situation, man.
I'm gonna ask a burn question. You said the Heat have a top 5 coach and the Heat have a good front office. Nobody wants to come. It ain't easy. It ain't that easy as you think. It ain't easy as you think. Especially when it comes to trade. I don't think it's not players not wanting to come there, But Bradley Beal had control over what he wanted to do. Bradley Beal had control. He had control. He had the Wizards organization handcuffed with what you wanted him to do. Phoenix offered him. Phoenix didn't have a first round pick. They didn't have a first round pick anyway. So Dame, he kind of rushed it. Once he saw that opportunity get up on the table, he just said, just go. I just go to Phoenix. I think that was his first mindset. Was just to get up out of there and go to a contender, no matter who it was. And I think he saw that opportunity and he jumped. He didn't care how many picks, Phoenix didn't have. He didn't care about the first round picks. He just wanted the hell out of Washington. That's all it is. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to go out there and get guys, especially trade clause. Go ahead.
Not only that, his agent was the son of the CEO of the owner of the Sun. So, you know what I'm saying? You got that chirping in your ear. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Miami? Not just the team, the city of Miami. Like, Miami is beautiful. Like, who doesn't want to go there and play? There's no taxes in Florida. So I think players want to go there, but for Miami, it is culture and it is who fits there. Like, who fits the Miami culture. And they don't want just anybody. So I think they're particular. They want to keep as many assets as they can. So I think it's not players don't want to go there. I just think the Heat they're picky in particular who they want.
It's a certain standard that they set. It's not. Miami may not be meant for every star or someone to come there. That's just what it is. I mean, I think Brian, you're just taking it a little bit too raw, too harsh at this point, just because they ain't bringing in nobody else. And we know they need one more player, but everybody's not a fit in Miami. Everybody just not really a legit fit in Miami. And I commend Pat Riley for that. He's just not going to bring on someone that's not a legit fit. If he's going to bring in someone, he's going to bring in players he's going to bring in like those 7, like Cody Martin, who's unestimated, who was undrafted. Someone like that, that's Miami. That's what he does right there. He loves developing guys. And if you fit in that culture, if he thinks you fit there, then he's going to bring you there. He's not going to just bring any star or anybody there that doesn't really fit, because when you go into Miami, you're going to work your ass off, and Miami going to get you up out of that quick. He going to get you up out of that quick, fast, in a hurry. That's the attitude that needs to be having. I wish that's the attitude every organization could have right there, like a Pat Riley right there. So be honored and be blessed about Pat Riley, because every superstar can't fit in now. LeBron James, he shut him down really, really quick. And who do you know anybody else that can shut LeBron James and keep his mouth closed for a little bit? I don't know anybody like Pat Riley that can definitely do that. So Again, every superstar don't fit in that spot. Yes, Bradley Beal, I thought he would have been a good option, but again, he had a no trade clause, so he had the Wizards basically handcuffed. He had them basically handcuffed. So it wasn't nothing that could have been controlled no better way.
Dictate wherever he wanted to go.
Yeah, he could have dictate whatever he
wanted. If a team came to the Wizards and said, "We're gonna give you 3 number ones for Bradley Beal," and Bradley Beal would have just said, "Nah, I don't want to go there." I mean, they have no control. They have no control.
Yeah, no control. And it's also if Miami was a part of it, they probably didn't want to give up anybody. They probably didn't want to give up anybody. Like
they don't want to give up Hero. They already said they don't want to give up Hero.
You did say yourself too. You don't want to give up Jovic. Now, if you don't want to give him up, then you don't want Bradley Beal. You don't want a superstar. You don't want to give him up. You got to give him up. You got to give him up. You want something? You want a superstar? You got to give up. You got to give him up. Because you know what the superstar is. You don't know what he is. You know what the superstar can bring to the team. So if you don't want to give up no players, how can you get somebody? How can you get a superstar? You can't get a superstar without giving up something. Without giving up something. If you want something great, you got to give up something that's potentially can be great. You got to be able to pull a trigger. This is an interesting one right here. I'm gonna go with you, Mo, first. Prime Darrelle Revis or Ed Reed?
That's a tough one because one of the different positions. Revis as a corner, as a shutdown corner, he was a beast. When it was Revis Island in his prime, think of the names that he locked down. Moss, T.O. I mean, he was locking them down.
Ocho Cinco.
But if I'm going to take a pick between the two, I'm going to take Ed Reed because Ed Reed, I believe, is the better football player. Revis can shut down a whole side of the football field. Ed Reed covers both sides of the football field. Ed Reed plays in every area, impacts every area of the football field, not just as a safety, but Ed Reed walks up to the line of scrimmage and becomes a linebacker, becomes a blitzer. Ed Reed, to me, had a bigger impact as a player. Ed Reed, to me, is a better football player. I would take Ed Reed all day.
Yes, go ahead.
I would take Ed Reed too. I mean, he changed the game. You think about it. I mean, you think about safeties now; they're in the box, hawking it, man. You know, and Darrelle Revis, I like what he did. He changed the game as well because he locked up Ocho Cinco, T.O., others. You know what I'm saying? That helped establish the game. But Ed Reed, he changed the game. He changed the game and made the game what it is today. How safeties play now, they play aggressive, hard-nosed football. So I gotta go to Ed Reed with that one.
Go ahead, Jay.
I agree with both of these fellas right here. Although lockdown corners are a dime a dozen to come by, Darrelle Revis was that. He was definitely a lockdown corner. But if the quarterback doesn't throw the Darrelle Revis side, it's like he's there, but he's not as he's impactful, but he's not as impactful as Ed Reed. Like we said, Ed Reed is all over the field. He's a ball hawk. So even you don't know where Ed Reed is going to be schematic wise. He can, he finds his way to the ball. And once he finds his way to the ball, it's damn near 6 all the time. So
that's the best point, y'all. I mean, that's the best point. Never mind that he's a ball hawk, but Jay just said he's taking it to the house.
He's taking it to the house. And so, what better way to be impactful than putting up points, right? So, and taking points away and putting up points for your team. So I definitely would have to go with Ed Reed just because he's all over the field and he takes away and puts up points.
Definitely, man. I definitely got to go with Ed Reed, man. Ed Reed, man, the guy's a ball hawk, man. The guy can hit as well. It's hard to find one of those guys that day that can do both, can cover and hit at the same time. Person I know that can really actually do that, man, Sean Taylor. That dude was nice, bro. You talking about knocking your head off. Oh my goodness. Right there. Brian Dawkins was a really good boomer as well, but Ed Reed was something special. If he wanted to return punts, he could have done that too. He could have actually done that. The way he just catch an interception like he's a receiver and just take it to the house. And these doesn't be short interceptions that takes a short touchdown to the house. These be long interceptions. He'll take it out of the end zone and go all the way back on the other end and score. That's how good Ed Reed was. Darrell Revis was great when he was in his prime. He shut down the whole field. He'll take away the whole field. He'll take away your number one receiver. You wouldn't even throw his way. You wouldn't even try to even throw his way. You'll literally avoid that. You'll literally try to avoid that, man. So I say Ed Reed, probably one of the greatest safeties to ever play this game. And happy to see him play. So y'all,
I got him top 2. He's in top. I mean, and you can go like this if you're gonna really rank them. To me, you can't go wrong with Ed Reed, Ronnie Lott.
Got you.
I mean, yeah. And then you got Palomalu, I think. Who's,
yeah.
I was gonna say Palomalu.
He's right there as well. So, yeah.
Got you. So, fellas, this does include the morning show on a Friday morning. Shout out to everybody that came through, man. We do have some podcasts coming up early today. Should be a fun one. Top of the Key. I will be a part of that today. So, other than that, Mo, tell the people they can follow you
at the Empire, right here, Empire Sports Network. Check out the podcast NBA Cypher. Other than that, I will see you fellas next week.
Yep. Go ahead, Des.
Sports Empire Network, my YouTube channel. I put a short out yesterday about the Nuggets 29th pick. I'll put another YouTube short. Prayers for Coach Prime. He has his surgery today at my hospital with UC Health. So prayers to him. Shout out to you guys. I love this show, man. Shout out to the network. And Jay, man, I love everybody's swagger, man. Y'all got that swagger, man.
I'm playing Jane over here, man. You seen swagger last night up there in the NBA draft, man.
Go ahead, Jay. Tell everybody where you can follow you.
Man, y'all can find me here on the Sports Empire, and you definitely can find me over at 613 Fate Productions on the Man Cave Sports Podcast. We drop every Saturday. Shout out to my guys, Mike T, G Money, Wildcard Mar, IOW Sports over there, Man Down with Melvin Wall and Chris. Catch me over there as well. Facebook group, The Man Cave Sports Group on Facebook, and Jay Jones on all 4 social media platforms, man. Come through. Twitter Spaces, Saturday and Sunday, 11 o'clock, 11:30 Eastern time. So come through.
Yeah, man. No introduction for me. Now, y'all know where to find me at right here. I'm going to be on Top of the Key later tonight on the network with my boy, Cool McCain. So shout out to everybody. As for me, Coach Dante, your boy Mo, your boy Dez, your boy Jay. We'll see you guys on the next morning show, which is Monday morning. See you guys later, y'all.